Mr. President, I don't know the basis at the moment for which we want to shift our sitting from 10 to 11 and end at 3 p.m. To me, we have more energy, our heads are clearer in the morning, and 1 hour into the day, probably would have lost some energy. And I feel, Mr. President, if we work between 10, if we sit in plenary between 10 and 2, our committees would do better than when the committees would have to go and sit between 4, probably, and 6 or 7 or 8. So if we don't have any reason except that we have to synchronize with the House, I think we need to look at it again. But if we have other reasons that we must change, that will be fine. But if it is just synchronized, the House may have their reasons why they sit at 11 and close at 3. But here I don't see the reason. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Well, yeah. The logic, Mr. President, is that a lot of times distinguished senators have reasons to go to bed late. And there is no point having in our rule book that our sitting time is 10 a.m. and every day we sit at 11 o'clock. Of course, there are some distinguished senators who will be here 10 for 10. But there have been a lot of times that even you sat here, Mr. President, at 11 or 10:30, and we had to wait for some of our distinguished colleagues to come so that we could form a quorum. It's important that we walk our talk. If our rules had said 10 a.m. and we had not been able to sit 10 for 10, I think what is most important at this point is that if we say it is 11, please let it be 11 o'clock. So I agree with distinguished Senator Lawan that it cannot just be because the House sits at 11. As a matter of fact, he also talked about energy. If it's even about energy, our younger brothers and sisters in the House of Representatives have more energy than we do. So if they will not sit before 11 a.m., I think it makes sense that we sit, amend our rules to read 11 o'clock, rather than our rule book saying 10 a.m. and we don't sit until 11. For me, this is the basic justification. And I would
is to the effect that we commit to Committee of the Whole to consider the amendment of our standing orders to enable us sit between 11 o'clock and 3 p.m. daily. Those in support that we move into Committee of the Whole, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Order 8, subsection 2, as recommended. Is this a true reflection of what transpired in the Committee of the Whole?